NBC Sports Group.
Why does it always seem like there's a little extra fire burning inside when the Dodgers are around? No matter how far back you go, there's always additional energy in the park and desire burning inside when Philly Red and Dodger Blue get together. Last night was just another example, and they weren't even mad at each other.
Program and scorecard for tonight's game, $5.
What's a ball game without a scorecard and a comfortable seat? That's what we have tonight. The Phils and the Los Angeles Dodgers, game 2 of a 4-game series. The crowd settling in, hoping for a Phillies victory and hoping to snap this 3-game losing streak. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. Happy to be here at Citizens Bank Park. All right. Something is due. Either the Phillies as a team or Cliff Lee. Lee is 0-2 this year in 8 starts. His ERA is exactly at 3, and he needs a little luck.
Well, they don't score for him either, Tom. You know, it's just a combination of things with Cliff Lee. To think we're in the month of June and this guy hasn't won a game yet is almost unimaginable. But that's where it stands right now. And he's going against a team that he's had success against. Last year in June here in this ballpark, 7 shutout innings. Vintage Cliff Lee could throw it everywhere he wanted to. Made some plays in the field. Cliff Lee just did everything in this ballgame. There he goes with one off his body, and you see how athletic he is. Makes a play at first base, so the Phillies won that game. Now we go out to Los Angeles. He may have even been better in this one. 8 shutout innings against the Dodgers, but it was only a 1-0 game late against Ted Lilly. And what did Cliff Lee do? He just stood up and wham, right out of the ballpark. His 2nd home run of the year. See Ted Lilly in kind of disbelief that Lee was able to do that. That had something to do with their contest last year, that he thought he was in control after that. Here's what he's done in 3 starts against the Dodgers, one of them when he was with the Cleveland Indians. And look what he did in game number 3 of the NLCS against the Dodgers. Say he pitches well against them is an understatement. Now, he can do all he wants, and he keeps shutting them out, but sooner or later they have to score some runs for him.
That's the big thing. Last night, that was a big storyline. The Phillies had chances, but just didn't score, and the Dodgers pulled away with game 1 of this 4-game series. So it will be Cliff Lee on the mound. He'll be opposed by Chad Billingsley, who does not have great numbers against the Phillies. He's been kind of up and down all year long, ready to make his 12th start of the year. Well, last night, 2 guys in particular really caused havoc against the Phillies. D. Gordon, he drove in a run and he scored the eventual game winner. And then Herrera, they're both in the starting lineup tonight, which we'll get to when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bud Light Lime. Summer is calling. By Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. By Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. No matter where you are in life or business, we have plans that fit. Go to plansthatfit.com. you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at shortstop, D. Gordon. Elian Herrera, the third baseman tonight, bats second. Juan Rivera hits third, followed by Andre Ethier and Alex Castellanos. Jerry Hairston, the second baseman, he'll bat sixth. Matt Trainer does the catching tonight, he'll bat seventh. Tony Gwynn eighth, and Chad Billingsley ninth. And they'll face Phillies left-hander Cliff Lee. And need we say more? Cliff needs a win.
Unbelievable. Here we are in the first week of June. No wins yet for Cliff Lee. An 0-2 record. And those are, well, look at those numbers. I mean, those numbers shouldn't be 0-2, should they?
They should not.
This doesn't make any sense here. But, you know, a lot of times this business doesn't make a lot of sense.
And as Cliff has said, just get deep into games. That's what he'd like to do.
That's our scouting report on him. Obviously, outstanding career numbers against these guys, especially last year when he just dominated them in 2 starts. Time for the Nissan keys to the game. Well, first key has to be what Tom and I are just talking about. Isn't it about time for Cliff Lee to win? And Billingsley, he's a very good pitcher, but he has had his struggles in this ballpark.
Well, D. Gordon will lead it off for the Dodgers. The first pitch from Lee. Gordon shows bunt, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Gordon played a role in last night's ball game. He was 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. His RBI single was an infield single. His triple went to the alley in right center. Lifts that one to left center. Easy play for Victorino. And one quick out here in the first. So with one away, that'll bring Herrera to the plate. Just to give you some particulars on Cliff and what he's going through, he's not alone. Ryan Dempster, the Chicago Cubs, who is scheduled to pitch tonight against Giovanni Gallardo of the Milwaukee Brewers, is also winless in 9 starts, but has an earned run average of 2.34. Herrera takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Well, a few things have happened. You know, he had the lead in the one game, but he had to come out of it because he'd been injured coming off the disabled list. They lost that game. Other games, he's just given up a few runs and they haven't scored for him.
Over to shortstop. This will be a 2-pitch at bat. Rollins will take care of Herrera. So 4 pitches, 2 away here in the first. During the 2012 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Graham Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. 2 outs. Juan Rivera is the hitter. Rivera making his 9th start of the year over at first base. He just came off the disabled list 2 days ago. He's playing instead of James Loney, which used to never happen.
No.
But Don Mattingly said yesterday, the game tells you what to do. I'm trying to put a lineup out there that has a chance to win a game.
Yeah, Loney's really struggling. Good player, too. Speaking of good players, there's Don Mattingly.
Curveball, 0-2 to Rivera. Well, this is the 4th time in 6 games that Loney is not over at first base. Now, tonight you understand it because there's a lefty on the mound if you're going to make a switch. Last night it was because they expected a lefty to come in for Vance Worley.
Yeah, and they can't put anybody over there come even close to playing defense the way that Loney can. So, you know, they try to stay with him a little bit longer when he's struggling offensively because he's so good defensively and saves runs.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Ground ball softly hit. Polanco has time. Rivera doesn't run well. Easy inning for Cliff Lee. 1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers. A fly out and 2 ground outs. So he's through the top of the first, on to the bottom of the first. Top of the order, ready to go. Angeles Dodgers. Bottom of the first inning. Let's take a peek at Charlie Manuel's starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Juan Pierre hits second. Hunter Pence third, then Carlos Ruiz. We'll talk about Carlos in a little bit. Shane Victorino bats fifth. Ty Wigginton sixth. And the bottom third of Polanco, Galvis, and Lee. And they'll face 27-year-old right-hander Chad Billingsley, who in 6 games against the Phillies in the regular season is 1-2 with a 3.31 earned run average. A little worse in the postseason.
Yeah, postseason they've had really good luck against him. There are his overall numbers. This guy has great stuff, but it doesn't always equate into a great outing. They gave him a 6-0 lead last year in a game at Los Angeles. That's the game Worley started, and he threw 99 pitches in 4 1/3 inning and finally wound up with a no decision.
Jimmy Rollins will lead things off for the Phillies. And Rollins takes a pitch down low. It's 1-0.
Yes, good curveball, good slider, plus fastball. Big, thick-legged guy. Well, not real overly tall, but real heavy lower body. He really can push off.
Fooled Jimmy, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. He is 72-56 lifetime, but you get the feeling that the Dodgers expected a little bit more from a former first-round pick. First-round pick back in 2003. Rollins rips one down the right field line. It's a fair ball. Heading to the corner, he's heading to second. Ethier digs it out of the corner, and Rollins pulls it to second base with a stand-up double. That's a good way to start the bottom of the first.
Excellent way to get going. Jimmy Rollins looked like he got a fat, well, that may have been a slider or a cutter on the outside part of the plate. It broke at the last split second, and he nailed it into the corner. Good job by Ethier. He's played a lot of games in this ballpark. Has a good feel for the way they come out of there.
He's safe at second. Jimmy is safe and secure with New York life.
This is why he likes Juan Pierre batting second in the order if Jimmy hits, because Juan Pierre has a lot of ways to get him to third.
Pierre's hitting .538 in his last 7 ball games. As Billingsley fakes the throw to second. Jimmy Rollins covered by D. Gordon, who he spent a lot of time talking with today before the ball game.
Yeah, they had a long chat over there by the Dodgers on deck circle. And they, of course, knew each other when D was just a kid here, working out when his dad was a player for the Phillies.
Pierre shows bunt, takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Herrera playing third tonight now, and he's coming down the line. But what he would love to do is retreat if Billingsley can handle the ball and maybe have a play on Rollins at third should he break. It's a tag play, of course, with just the runner at second.
Overall, Pierre is hitting .340. That trainer had a little trouble with that one. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Julia Canini of Wayne, Pennsylvania. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Julia will win $100. And Julia, we're just assuming that the G is silent. We apologize if it's not.
That's a good way to pronounce an Italian name. Canini.
Pierre bunted at it and missed it.
You don't see that very often because he had to strike the bunt. Those are the kinds sometimes a guy will get picked off second because good runner like Rollins, he'll look in with a good bunter like Pierre and go, oh, that's a strike he's going to put in play. Oh, no, he didn't. And the next thing you know, you're hung up.
Every day before batting practice, Pierre is out there with Pete Mackanin working on his bunting.
That's what he's done with every team we've ever seen him play for, that he would always be out early working on things, and many times it's bunting.
Pete was busting his chops the other day asking him, you ready to go? He goes, yeah, I just got to find the baseballs. 2-1 the count, and he bunts at it and fouls it into the glove of Matt Trainer.
It's amazing that he bunted through. As you said, he did foul that one, just barely tip it, but he basically bunted through 2 pitches. Billingsley has some life on the ball. I mean, that ball really sunk down and away from him. May not have been a strike.
What do you think? Does he do it again?
No.
He doesn't. Pitches in the dirt. 3-2 the count.
And especially now at 3-2, they'll want him. He can pull the ball. He shows every once in a while when there's Pence on deck, when he wants to get started quick, that he can pull balls. It's not his natural hitting style. Billings throws him something off speed too to speed his bat up. Now they're a little. They're not sure where they want to go right now. Where they want to challenge hard away, make it tougher to pull, or go for a strikeout with something off speed.
Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach for the Dodgers. He was the pitching coach when Joe Torre was there. In fact, I think he was the pitching coach even before Joe Torre was there. But he's done a nice job with the staff over the years. 7 or 8 years now, right?
Yeah. He's a pitching. He's a good guy to talk to. I was talking to him before the game about Kershaw last night, and he was really pleased that Kershaw uses changeup more because he thinks he should use it. He said, "What do you think of his curveball?" Whoa.
3 balls, 2 strikes the count to Pierre as Billingsley steps back to chase Rollins to the bag. There's Clayton Kershaw. He didn't get the win last night. The bullpen for both teams suffered both decisions. And Pierre rips one deep down the right field line, foul.
He's trying to pull there.
Well, he'll hit some home runs, not many though, during the course of a season.
No.
He had a couple last year with the White Sox.
Yeah, he can turn on one every once in a while and throw some bat speed on it the way he did. Cause all he's trying to do now is pull the ball, and he saw a pitch in and he thought he could pull it. Wasn't quite able to keep that one fair.
So it's still full 3-2 with Rollins at second. It's that one in the air to center field. That should get Rollins over. Tony Gwynn Jr. is under it. Rollins heading to third. Gwynn's got a good arm, but it's not going to be enough. So Pierre does his job. Rollins is at third with less than 2 outs. So here we go again.
Yeah, we're talking about that he has a lot of ways to get guys over to third. That's not the way I was thinking. That's the least likely way you think he's going to hit a deep fly ball.
So Pierre being congratulated by his teammates. Jimmy Rollins will dust himself off. The infield is back. So we've talked about this often. The Dodgers are giving the Phillies a run with a ground ball toward the middle of the diamond with Rollins at third. And Pence, who has struggled with runners in scoring position this year, hits one hard through the hole on the left side. A base hit. Rollins will score, and the Phillies take the lead. That'll make you shake your struggles a little bit. A first inning run, RBI 35 for Hunter Pence.
Yeah, he got a fastball and just wailed. You know he's going to swing at the first pitch. They know it, and it looked like he threw him a fastball. Oh, right, belt hot. Oh, my. That's one of those ones. Thank you very much. Let me hammer it, and he did.
So now the Phils will start over again, up 1-0. They've got a couple hits in the inning. Here's Carlos Ruiz. Carlos hitting cleanup, 8 homers, 32 runs batted in. Takes the first pitch in the dirt, 1-0. The latest All-Star voting, really the first voting that we've been given, has Carlos Ruiz as 4th right now among catchers. And the conversation today throughout the clubhouse, throughout the press corps, is he should be higher than that. So it's time to vote for Carlos. Check swing, foul ball. In fact, David Murphy of the Daily News talked to Roy Halladay, and Doc said this is the perfect city, and I'm paraphrasing, for him to catch up because he deserves to go. He's deserved to go in years past, and it would be a great honor for him to go. And it's true.
Yeah, no offense to those 3 guys in front of him, all really good players.
He's having a better year.
Having a better year.
So there you go. Vote Chooch. They're going to start popping up all around the ballpark, and it's good. I mean, it's, in years past, it's been other guys who have had this opportunity, and now it's time for Carlos to head to the All-Star game. 1-1 the count. Breaking ball inside, 2-1.
And start the All-Star game too, because the odds are he'll go to the All-Star game just because he's been so good. They don't have to take the second guy necessarily in the voting, but he should be first or second in the voting this year.
Absolutely. And his peers will have something to do with that too. The players will vote.
Look at it.
A lot of times the All-Star game, the starters at least, are a popularity vote. In this case, he's popular. and he deserves it.
And the Cardinals draw very, very well in St. Louis, and they're going to vote for Yachty or Molina, understandably. And he has national recognition now. Does Molina, after last year especially.
Well, and also, you know, even back in 06 when he was with the Cardinals, even though he wasn't hitting as much then.
He's a good player.
Curveball ripped foul again, this time to the left side.
Well, he's keeping them loose down there, both sides.
I think he was just walking down the aisle, and he may have been in the right place at the right time. So he's up 1-0 here at the bottom of the first. Two and two the count to Carlos.
You get the count to 3-2, they may run too. Stay out of a ground ball double play. Carlos has not been swinging through a lot of pitches. Billingsley could go to something slow.
Well, he does, and he pops it up right side of the infield. Jerry Hairston was looking to see where Ruiz was and looking to see where Pence was before he made the catch. I don't know if he thought about letting that drop, and then he tried to turn two.
You do something like that. You better have a guy that's already made a right turn going into the dugout.
I don't think I would ever think about doing it in the first place, but letting a ball that high bounce. Something a little lower, maybe.
You do that, you better be sure what's going to happen.
2 outs, runner at first. Here's Victorino. 0 for 4 in last night's ball game. On a different night, he might have been 1 for 4 with what could have been a game-winning home run. But his ball to left field, which he hit pretty hard, hit down toward the end of the bat a little bit, died in the wind.
Everybody downstairs today you talked to thought that would have been a home run on a normal night here.
Like tonight.
Yeah, like tonight even. Much more pleasant night tonight. You know, the rain's not around. Wind's a lot less.
2-0 the count.
Making Billingsley throw a lot of pitches here in the first inning. Said last year he threw 99 in 4 1/3 innings on a really hot 12 o'clock start at Dodger Stadium in a 9-8 Phillies win.
Ty Wigginton's on deck, and he may get a chance. 21 pitches now for Billingsley.
Shane's really been struggling left-handed. He hit some balls harder last night. Maybe see if Charlie gives him a green light here.
All 4 so first and second with 2 outs. Ty Wigginton is now the hitter. Budweiser, through the Walk Off the Hero program, will donate $5,000 to Folds of Honor for every Phillies walk-off win. Please join Budweiser and the Phillies in honoring those who keep our nation safe and free.
Phillies are really good at 2 things throughout his career: keeping the ball in the ballpark, although he has thrown 7 this year, and also right-handed hitters just hitting .231 lifetime off him, and that's because of that real hard curveball slider combo he has.
Wigginton is 3 for 8 lifetime against Billingsley. And Billingsley fires a strike, so it's 0-1.
Wynn started out playing him in right center field on that pitch, and now after 1 pitch.
And now he's going back. He went back to the left center and then moved over to the right center again.
Normally, with the count, when you're behind in the count, you go further the other way. That's why Billingsley can be really tough on right-handed hitters. See, Gwynn, we first looked up, was over here, and then the count went 0-1, and normally you're going to stay in that spot or move even further to your left, thinking, well, he's behind in the count, more likely to go that way.
0-2 the count. Runners on first and second. Opposite way. That's pretty well hit. Ethier's going back. Warning track to the wall. He jumps and he makes the catch. He got spun around and still got his bearings toward the wall to pull it down and finish off the first inning. The Phillies do strike first. Hunter Pence, first pitch fastball, ripped it through the hole. That brought home J-Roll And the Phillies are on top 1-0 as we go to the second. MLB.TV today to see every Phillies out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices at HD quality. Visit Phillies.com to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. You can also go to MILB.com, which is the minor league website. Check out what's going on around the Phil's farm system, including in Lehigh Valley, where Dominic Brown has hit another home run. The Iron Pigs are on top 2-0 in their ball game. Andre Ethier leads it off here in the second. And lead delivers high. 1 ball and no strikes. Ethier .314, a league leading 46 runs batted in. Oh for 4 with a run scored last night.
Jim Wolf's a home plate umpire, and he loves to throw the baseball back to the pitcher after foul balls. I mean, he fires it.
Didn't that just get umpire in trouble? Was it Laz Diaz? Russell Martin wanted to throw a ball back to his pitcher just to keep his arm loose, and Laz Diaz said, no, you haven't earned the right to do that, or something like that.
They had some little problem with that, yes.
1-2 pitch. Look out. Oof. Man. Smokage. That ball was scalded over the Dodgers dugout. And that lady did the right thing. She waited for it to stop. She picked it up, and she has the souvenir. And she's darn happy about it.
And everybody's okay. Andre Ethier threw that emergency swing on that pitch away. That was a wicked foul.
Curveball ripped to right. That'll hook foul and out of play. And it remains 1-2.
A lot of stories as you got that.
Stories might end with, well, I got it anyway.
It's mine. It's all mine. Don't take it away from me.
2-2 the count to Ethier.
Pretty good player that entered that foul ball too.
He's fighting off another one.
Yeah, Lee had a really easy first inning pitch wise, and now Ethier's giving him a long at bat here. And he's tried everything too. In, out, up, down. Maybe one of those, throw it down the middle and see what happens.
Kind of did that, and he fouled it away. Had some late cut on it. It wasn't a cutter, but it did have some late movement. Toyota Major League Scoreboard. The Braves have taken a 1-0 lead over the Marlins. That game's in the bottom of the second. Marlins are tied for first place with the Nationals.
Those teams had a night off last night.
Braves are just 2 back. A little high, 3-2. So this will be the 10th pitch of this at bat alone as Lee battles Ethier. Castellanos is on deck. And ball 4. So Ethier draws a walk to start the second. So Castellanos will dig in, and we'll check in with Greg Murphy with his Major League Notebook. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, T-Mac. The Major League Notebook brought to you by Gwynn and Mercy College. Hall of Famer and Norristown native Tommy Lasorda was hospitalized yesterday with a mild heart attack while he was representing the Dodgers in New York at the player draft. He said that he's doing just fine. He had a stent put in, and he is expected to be released on Wednesday. Mets pitcher Jonathan Neese also dealing with a heart issue. He has an irregular heartbeat. He expects to have a procedure done over the All-Star break, and they expect him to be just fine as well. And finally, guys, Major League Baseball lost a good one. Pedro Borbon, 65 years old, lost his battle with cancer yesterday. Of course, he helped the Cincinnati Reds win back-to-back World Series, and was a terrific pitcher, but he loses his battle at age 65.
Yeah, he was part of that big red machine in 75 and 76. And, you know, Tommy Lasorda released a statement, as you would imagine, saying, "It is true, I bleed Dodger blue." All right, Murph, we appreciate that. 1 ball and 1 strike to count here at the top of the second. Little looper to the right side. Galvis got a good break on it. He's there. And 1 out. Pedro Borbon, 69 and 39 during his big league career, 11 seasons. He pitched for the Cardinals, the Giants, the Angels, and of course the Reds. And he was such a beloved figure at Cincinnati that he was inducted into their Hall of Fame in 2010.
He was really durable too, Tom. And he had that habit. He would put that hat back on his head. I can still see him. He's kind of tilted a little bit even in that picture, but that was one of his trademarks, was to put the hat back up on his head. Fastball, slider, tough competitor, and his son was a pretty good pitcher, a left-handed pitcher.
Here's Jerry Hairston, who takes high. His son kind of had the same hat. Like he wore the hat almost the same way.
Well, Pedro, you know, you go back and see some old Red videos that he's in the Red. You remember what I mean about the way he had that hat tilted on his head. He was he was a character, is what he was. Had a lot of hot dog in him.
Base hit to left field, the first hit of the night for the Dodgers. So first and second with 1 out, and Matt Trainer is due up. So an 8-pitch first inning has turned into a 15-pitch second. And how about this, Wheels? The great Jackie Shore is celebrating his 80th birthday today. Ronnie Clark, Phillies vice president, is presenting him with a cake. They couldn't put all 80 candles on it. David Montgomery, the Phil's president, coming over as well. David has watched Jack Shore shoot a lot of free throws at the Palestra. Scott Palmer's there too.
He's a good man. Everybody's buddy.
He's one of the best. One of the best.
Always got some great trivia questions.
And you'll see him here at the ballpark all the time, but you'll see him at college basketball games all around the city. I mean, he is, and you may even see him in Atlantic City seeing a Sinatra show.
Yeah, Deanna Say back there too from the Phillies publicity department with Bonnie Clark, and that's big though when David walks over. that shows you have some longevity. You've been around for a while.
Well, happy birthday, Jack. Blow out the candle. There you go. Make it a wish. Still looks great.
Oh, he's good, man. Everybody's buddy.
Photos for everybody.
Rob Matty. He came up to me and he says, "You know, tonight's Jack's birthday." I said, "We got it." It's covered.
Yeah, JJ was coming around with a card that we signed for from everybody to Jack, and you know, Jack has been besieged with well wishes and cards over the last couple of days. His family did a neat thing. They they asked for birthday cards to be sent during the course of this week, and Aaron Bracey, who's a writer, writes for the AP, has a basketball website, came in and said, yeah, Jack came to me and said, you know anything about this? I'm getting a ton of birthday cards.
No, I don't know anything about it.
Because how do all these people know it's my birthday? 3-1 the count to Matt Trainer.
Well, Lee's got a little out of whack in this inning. He was just so sharp in that first inning. And it's like Ethier got him a little.
And a call, strike 2. I thought that was a strike. I was just wondering when the call was coming.
Yeah, it could have been was a little high, but it looked like it had plenty of the plate. See, Carlos did bring it down.
Jim Wolf, the home plate umpire. Darrell Cousins at first base. Ron Culpa at second. And DJ Rayburn is around at third. What a topic he's become.
Yeah, everybody knew him today.
Everybody knew him, and they kind of brought up Darrell Cousins because of those 2 calls in the first inning yesterday, too.
And they didn't have a real good night last night.
Here's DJ Rayburn. He threw out Trey Hillman. Don Mattingly got into a discussion with Jonathan Papelbon. Jonathan spoke his mind after the game. 3-2 the count. The pitch fouled away.
Talking to Trey before the game, Trey Hillman, he said, all I said was, what's going on out there? One's high, one's low, and he turned around and he threw me out.
Well, he probably had heard enough from both benches because
yeah.
he was kind of up and down with his strike zone last night.
Well, Trey said, I thought I made a good point.
Tony Gwynn on deck. Again, the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him with a changeup.
Well, he's having all kinds of trouble with location on some pitches, and they're fouling a lot of balls off on him. He threw Ethier a 3-2 changeup that Ethier took for ball 4, but he got Trainer to chase. So 2 3-2 changeups in this inning. One gets a ball 4. That one gets a strikeout.
Two outs. Here's Tony Gwynn Jr. Who got a chance to play for his father's beloved Padres, but now is playing with the Dodgers the last couple of years. Good numbers here at Citizens Bank Park. Overall, a .269 hitter.
How about that? Runners in scoring position. And he has one out there now. Billingsley on deck. His numbers aren't great this year, but he can hit a little bit. He is not one of those pitchers you think, well, you know, I don't even mind if you walk Gwynn here to get to him. He can hurt you.
Fly ball left center field. Victorino has a beat on it, and Lee leaves a couple here in the second inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. We played 1.5. It's the Phillies 1 and the Dodgers nothing. Reactions and analysis from the Phils matchup with the Dodgers, plus reports on the Eagles as they get back to work for organized team activities. Wake up to all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Rise tomorrow morning, only on Comcast Sportsnet. 1-0 Phils, bottom of the second. It'll be the bottom third. Placido Polanco, Freddie Galvis, and Cliff Lee, who are due up. Phillies scored their run on a base hit by Hunter Pence. It brought home Jimmy Rollins.
Yeah, they just missed more in that bullet that Ty Wigginton hit to end the first inning. Ether, as Tom said, got turned around a little bit, but made a heck of a play on that ball. It looked like it was off the wall when he hit it.
Here's Polanco. He's been hot. 4-game hitting streak. He's hit .336 over his last 30 games or so, which has brought his average up to .294. He's a lifetime .301 hitter. Even with all his struggles this year, he's basically been around .30, .301, .302 all year. Behind 0-2.
About 3 weeks ago, he started to hit some balls hard. And that was the thing. Early in the season, he wasn't driving the ball, and he has been lately.
At a called strike 3. He's down looking. That doesn't happen often. First strikeout for Billingsley. And with one away here at the bottom of the second, it'll bring Freddie Galvis to the plate. Talked to Freddie a couple weeks ago, and Freddie, as he comes up to the plate, is doing something a little different. It's something he does during his first at bat. And for more on that, let's bring Greg Murphy in. Murph?
Yeah, you're right, T-Mac. It's kind of a tribute to a friend of his that he lost back in Venezuela, Eduardo Cuba. He grew up with Freddie. They played baseball together, and Eduardo was a terrific player in his own right, an amateur player in Venezuela. About 2 weeks ago, Freddie got word that he was killed in a car accident, and ever since then, as you mentioned, when he comes up for his first at bat, he draws Edwards' initials in the dirt right by home plate and the sign of the cross as well. Kind of a tribute to his friend that he lost. And it's a sad story, obviously, but Freddie wanted to keep his memory alive here in the big leagues.
Yeah, and Eduardo was, as Murph said, a very good amateur player. Freddie said he was a catcher who knew how to play the game. And after watching Freddie this entire year, whoever was teaching them the game, you figured taught a lot of them the right way to play. So if that's the case, it's all about the teacher. Yeah. Cuba actually has a record, a senior Babe Ruth record for hits in the national tournament. So he's a pretty good player in his own right, like as Murph said. Well, and Freddie took that hard, and obviously he was here in the States, so he couldn't go back to Venezuela to be around his friends and family. But that's a nice tribute to keep him in his mind, because obviously Freddie getting a chance to be here in the big leagues. Here's Cliff Lee with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
Cut that thing on Cliff Lee right there. Did not want to give Cliff Lee a straight fastball. There is Freddie Galvis, who is a very special young man, not only as a player but as a person.
Talking to Charlie Manuel today, he said he has not seen a player come to the major leagues. He said major leagues in a long time with his kind of with his baseball skills, with his knowledge of the game, his instincts, all those things. I don't think he was just talking about the Phillies. Lee's retired. 3-1 on the putout. 1-2-3 go the Phils here in the second. 2 innings in the books here in Philadelphia. Freddie Galvis and the Phils on top. 1-0. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fan section for all the information. And please submit your answer on the subject line. Wills, here's the question. Name the last Dodger to win a National League Rookie of the Year award.
Boy, they had to stretch them, didn't they?
They did. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. Well, you think about the guys that they had that won that Rookie of the Year award. Steve Howe, Greg Brock. And the list goes on. Fernando Valenzuela.
Hollinsworth.
Yep, Todd Hollinsworth was one. Didn't do much after that, but he was one.
Well, he's a broadcaster in Chicago now.
Top of the 3rd, Chad Billingsley will lead it off against Cliff Lee. Billingsley, a 150 hitter. He does have a couple home runs for his career. A strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You know, you didn't necessarily want to get him up there in the bases loaded with nowhere to go, because he can hurt you. Two pretty good hitting pitchers here tonight.
0-2 the count to Billingsley. Call, strike 3. Little paint on the inside part of the plate. 2 strikeouts for Lee. And back to the top of the order for D. Gordon. It's kind of interesting. We mentioned before that Cliff Lee and Ryan Dempster both are pitching tonight. They've been pitching on the same day now for the last couple weeks, and both are looking for their first win. Dempster is 0-3 in 9 games with a 2.14 earned run average, whereas Lee came into this ball game 0-2 with an ERA of 3. It's now a 2.88. The last time a pitcher had gone this long a period of time without a win and had a sub-3 earned run average was back in 1994. It was Andy Ashby. 1-1 the count. Before that, it was Mark Grant in 1987, who was 0-1 with a 2.76 ERA. I talked to Mudd today about that. He scored at bunts foul. Mark is a broadcaster for the San Diego Padres, a good guy. And he said, I remember that I didn't get off to that great a start. And I said, well, you did get off to a great start ERA-wise. He goes, yeah, but I was eventually sent to the bullpen. But Mudd said he finished up the year in the rotation. He did. He was 6-7, but his earned run average was over 4. But it was funny. He goes, I do remember that I didn't start the year off that well.
Yeah, they didn't help him much. He was the pitcher that his manager one time said, Mudd, why don't you just pitch, and then the other 4 days just stay home?
His manager, of course, was Larry Boa.
Yeah, because Mark Grant was a little hyper back then.
1-2 strikes the count to Gordon. And a called strike 3. Right down the chute.
He's got it going in this inning. For whatever, you know, it's almost like Ethier, like I said, got him a little bit out of sorts last inning with that long at bat when he was trying all different pitches, and his command left him a little bit. Now he's come back out here in this inning, and zip, 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 everything's right where he wants it, and that's what you get used to seeing from Cliff Lee.
Here's Herrera, who grounded to short his first time up. It's the first pitch foul. Pinballs around the suite level and then hits a gentleman walking down the stairs in the behind.
Well, if you're going to get hit, you know.
Herrera bunts. Ruiz makes the play immediately. I thought that was a fair ball, but maybe it didn't get past the plate. Carlos isn't saying anything, so it's 0-2.
And Jim Wolf jumped out right away and called it. Yes, he is Randy's brother. And that's one of the reasons like he likes to fire those baseballs out there. Here's a look at it. And it's foul. Oh, it almost hit his bat. would have just made it foul.
0-2 pitch. Didn't go after the curve. They appeal. No swing, though, says Darryl Cousins. Toyota Major League scoreboard. Washington is shutting out the Mets 1-0. Chris Young has returned from shoulder surgery and is pitching for New York. Bryce Harper has an RBI.
Chris Young keeps trying, doesn't he?
Yeah. I read a report where his fastball was at 85 in the minor leagues.
Well, he never really had a high velocity fastball. He kind of relied on deception.
Well, when it's your 80th birthday, you have to spend it with all kinds of friends. That's great. He's got the binoculars. Fanatic didn't get any cake, so he's just going to just settle in, spend some time, talk some hoops, talk some baseball with Jack. Softly hit to short. Rollins will have to hurry, and does, and it's a 1-2-3 third inning for Cliff Lee.
Just looks funny.
It just looks funny. The party is going on in the press box. Jack Shore and one of his closest friends, and everybody's close friend, the Philly Fanatic. Bud Light Lime. Summer is calling. By Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. And by Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com. Game 2 of a 4-game series between the Phillies and the Dodgers. Phillies have lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, and they continue to struggle here. They're 4 games under 500 at home, and goes without saying that has to change.
Rollins started that change in the first with a double, and then he scored. It's 0-1.
Nice to see Jimmy picking up some extra base hits lately, because that has always been one of his strong points. Is for a small player, he can hit the ball in spots where he can get extra base hits because he's strong.
Jimmy said last night that he heard the boos. He said he's heard them since he's come to Philadelphia from time to time. He said it was difficult not to hear them last night.
He's all right.
He had some good comments, though, and Bob Brookover from the Inquirer wrote a story about it today. And Jimmy referenced his mom, Gigi, who was a wonderful lady, and said that she helped build a very strong frame of mind for him.
He's mentally tough. He's proven that throughout the years.
Shoots it the other way, and it remains 1-2.
You know, he's been so successful here that he really didn't go through a lot of hard times. But, you know, the fans will test you here. You know, Vuk used to say they try to crack you. And if they do, they know it. But if they can't crack you, then they love you. And I always thought that made a lot of sense.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Rollins. And pitch low, 2-2.
But Jimmy won the fans over right away.
To the right side. Hairston throws him out, one away. And that'll bring Juan Pierre to the plate. Pierre helped set up the run that Rollins scored with a fly ball to right center field that allowed Jimmy to move from second over to third. And then he scored on the base hit by Hunter Pence.
It was a really good job by Pierre when you consider his forte is bunting, and he didn't get the bunt down, and then he hit a deep fly ball, which is not what he does best.
5 for 9 in the series. 538 over his last 7 games. Hairston again. Well, tomorrow and Thursday, the final 2 games of this homestand, the final 2 games against the Dodgers. Tomorrow 7:05, Thursday 1:05. It's a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Tickets are available right now. Check out Phillies.com and order your tickets for either tomorrow's game or Thursday's game, maybe both. Hunter Pence, an RBI single, his first time up. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Well, he threw him a straight fastball his first time up. That one had movement. Cutter or slider, something went away from him.
Line drive to left field, a base hit. It's cut off by Castellanos. Oh, and somehow he got the ball in. He had a pretty good arm on that one. And Pence is held at first.
Hey, tremendous play on him.
Really did. Well, they're all done, Wheels. The Phillies draft room is finally quiet. They got to clean up after themselves.
Had a nice view there, didn't they?
They did. Rob Halladay coming to check out some things. Marty Wolver, the Phillies assistant general manager in charge of amateur scouting, will join us as the night moves on. We'll discuss the Phillies draft. 15 players were selected by the Phillies.
We're getting a little spritz all of a sudden. Just don't look like we're going to get through a night without rain.
Shower. Actually 17 players, excuse me, were selected by the Phillies. That's clear over Center City. I mean, there's some clouds, but
it's been weird weather pattern the last few days.
No balls, 1 strike, the count to Carlos. 0-2. It's pretty nice over Center City, doesn't it?
That's where they're going to build the ballpark originally. Would have been fine over there.
Yeah, but there have been days where it wouldn't have been fine.
No. It's been fine down here since '04.
Carlos chops it towards short. Gordon charges and throws him out. So the Phillies get a base runner, a single by Pence, but he's left on the base paths. We've played 3. We moved to the 4th. It's 1-0. Phil's on top. Coffee. K-Cups delivered in all the flavors you love by who? But W.B. Mason. Well, we've completed 3. We head to the 4th inning here in Philadelphia. Yes, the umbrellas are up. Should be just a quick passing shower. Gary Matthews joins us up here in the booth. Phillies scored a run on a base hit by Hunter Pence. And now Juan Rivera, Andre Ethier, Alex Castellanos will be the hitters for the Dodgers, who have managed 1 hit so far against Lee. And the first pitch popped foul behind the plate, 0-1. Well, Marty Walliver, Phillies assistant general manager, has joined us up here in the booth as he normally does when the draft is complete. How'd it go?
You know, it went great. We got some kids that we're really excited about, and it was a long day. It's been a long couple of days, but we're really excited about the kids we've got.
That's great. Well, I know it's a lot of work that goes into it, and it almost feels like it's anticlimactic when it's over with. But here's the first pick, Shane Watson. I watched video on this kid. Not that, you know, my determination is anything, but he's got a really good curveball.
He's got a great curveball, Mac, and he reminded me a lot of Brett Myers in high school in the way that he competed and went about it. And you know, with a plus curveball, it certainly is kind of a separator for us.
And a good fastball, low 90s, I saw.
Low 90s, very aggressive, and like I said, very athletic, very good competitor.
0-2 the count to Rivera. Now, pitching-wise, 8 pitchers, if I'm correct, that were selected out of 17 picks?
Yeah, we took quite a few pitchers, and of course, we always like to get offensive players. Sarge, he knows that, but we got a couple of kids that I think can swing the bat, have a little pop in the bat, a little power, and you know, along with some good pitching.
All right. Well, the count is 0-2 to Rivera. And a breaking ball pulled foul.
Marty, what do you look at as far as the high school kids, college kids there? I mean, what is really more attractive, you think, these days?
You know, Sarge, we still like high school players. I think, unfortunately, a lot of the college programs are tailored toward the college coaches winning. And sometimes they take the individuality away from the players, and they don't learn how to play the game. And when they show up here, now they have to start all over again, and they have to learn how to play the game and what to throw in certain situations. And so it's a little bit different in that regard, and we just like to have them earlier. We just really believe in our system and our player development people, and we think they're going to have a leg up by starting earlier.
Now, over the last couple of years, some of those guys, like Jesse Biddle, have started to thrive. And Jesse's doing very well in Clearwater. Now, he's a high school kid with a great upside that the Phillies took, and it looks like it's paid off at this point. Now, look at the draft picks. Am I pronouncing it right? Cousins?
Cousins.
He's a big dude. 6'6", left-handed hitter.
He's a big kid. His father played in the NFL for a couple of years with, I believe, the Broncos. Played at Pitt with Tony Dorsett.
Right.
And Dylan's a big kid. Was going to U of A to play football as a defensive end. So no, but he's got a lot of power. He was very, very intriguing during the course of the year.
Now, you picked him with the 3rd selection that the Phillies had, knowing that he was thinking about going to the University of Arizona. He's got football in his blood. But I guess he was too good to pass up at that point.
You know, he really was. And you know, it's always about comparisons. And you look at the boards and how you stack the boards, and we just felt it was too good to walk by.
Sarge, 6'6", left-handed hitter.
Yeah, my kind of guy if he can put that bat on the ball.
Absolutely,
you know?
Sarge.
I guess, and what do you look for, though, too, for the younger kids out there? Bat speed, does that have a lot to do with, you know, being drafted or whether or not you can be a good athlete playing basketball or, say, football?
Well, sir, you know, I guess we're getting older, but I still like young kids that play all the sports. I like athletes. I like kids that play football, and I go watch basketball games and just to see how they compete, because everybody's going to have failure. It's just a matter of how you handle the failure when it comes your way. And multi-sport athletes, I think, have a better chance of succeeding and working through that than guys that just focus, you know, on one sport.
Marty, how about Cameron Perkins for Purdue? I mean, he was a college kid. He was a 3rd baseman. What did you like about him?
He's got some raw power, Mac, and he can hit him a long way. He does not strike out much. And I think Sarge alluded to that earlier. I think in almost 200 bats, I think he struck out 10 times. So that's always a plus. You know, if you put the ball in play, you got a chance. And he does that, and he's got some power to go with it.
Well, there you see the Phillies draft picks in tonight's lineup. From Pierre, who was selected by Colorado, to the homegrown guys like Jimmy Rollins, who was selected by the Phils in the 2nd round. Freddie Galvis and Carlos Ruiz were signed as amateur free agents. So it takes all kinds to make a major league team.
You know, it really does. I think they come from every walk of life. They come from every country you can possibly imagine. And I just don't think I'm a big believer in expanding the pool, Mac, and trying to get as many players in the pool to pick from as you possibly can. And college, high school, northern kids, southern kids, it doesn't really matter. And that's, you know, you just have to try to separate it some way.
Well, I think it's interesting you say that northern kids, southern kids, it doesn't matter. I mean, on the list, you got Indianapolis, Indiana. You've got Wisconsin, you have Maryland, you have New York, you have California, of course, and you have Texas. But it's it really does seem like you've scoured the country here.
You know, we've got guys everywhere, and you know, we've had good success in cold weather places, and certainly in California, it's a place where there's been a lot of players, and we've had good success over the years. But you know, we exhaust every opportunity we possibly can.
1-2 the count to Castellanos, and a call, strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cliff Lee. I know you didn't draft him, but he looks pretty good tonight, doesn't he?
He looks all right.
Marty, thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks, Mac. Appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks,
we'll be following as we go through here.
You.
Marty Wolver, this draft is over. The Phillies guys are done. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 1-0. Phil's on top. Brought to you by Ford. Visit your Quality Plus Ford store today. Go further with 3 vehicles that get 40 miles per gallon. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size soft drink or sweet tea is $1. Home fourth. 1-0 Phillies. Cliff Lee looks outstanding. Phillies got a first inning run off Chad Billingsley, who looks pretty good. Victorino leads it off and takes a changeup for strike one.
You know, that's interesting about the high school kids. And again, you know, drafting those kids, you get them at a young age, so they're not really spoiled, and they haven't had a whole lot of success. Once they've gone to college, they start to have success. They're not going to want to change. They want to stay kind of right where they are. A little more difficult for the pros to get a lot of the college kids to change into. That aluminum bat, I wanted to ask Marty about that and being able to draft a kid using that aluminum bat most of the time.
2-1 the count. Well, Sarge, the parameters of the aluminum bats have changed so much in the last 3 years. Kids now are using what they call a BB core, which has less jump than the composite bats that they used 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It's not the same, but I think it's closer than it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's good for me because, again, that ball coming off that aluminum, I mean, it is coming awful quick. You got to really be alert. The pitchers literally have no chance to get out of the way.
2-2 pitch to the right side. Rivera makes the play. The race is on, and Billingsley's there before Victorino. 1 out. With the summer comes the critical need for blood donations. So the Phillies are teaming up with the American Red Cross to host a blood drive Friday, June 15th from 8 until 1 at Citizens Bank Park. All presenting blood donors will receive a special edition red rally towel, and one lucky donor will be randomly selected to throw a ceremonial first pitch at an upcoming Phillies game. Check out redcrossblood.org/penjersey for all the information. Wigginton's the hitter. He lined out to deep right his first time up. 0-1 the count. One ball, one strike. I thought Marty's take, though, with what you're saying about high school, college kids, as a fan, I always thought, well, get the college kid, he'll be ready sooner. But maybe the finished product isn't exactly what you want it to be. That ball's off the glove of Herrera. It should be a base hit for Wigginton.
Well, you know, too, having the high school kid come in, I mean, to get him to kind of get into your program, if you will, makes it a little bit easier. I mean, because, you know, you don't want guys that, of course, let's face it now, there's some kids like a Bob Horner comes right off campus right to the major league.
Doesn't happen every day.
Doesn't happen every day. Dave Winfield, another player, was able to come out of college, I thought, right to the major leagues. But again, when you have those 4 years, there's things that you learn in the minor leagues, and Marty's right, on how to play the game the organization's way.
Placido Polanco is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Murph, what did Ruben say about the Cousins kid? He's 6'6". I mean, you can't teach that. There's no doubt about it.
You certainly can't teach that. You know, he was asked basically who he was most excited about in the major league draft for the Phils, and he pointed out Cousins. He said this kid is huge, as you just pointed out, 6'6", and he has extraordinary power, is what he said. Cousins actually came here to Citizens Bank Park and worked out here, and apparently launched a couple deep into the night when he was here, kind of impressing everybody. He said he could play the corner outfield positions. He might play first base at some point in his career, but he was just really enamored by his power. And you know what? They could use a guy like that at some point. Obviously, every team could.
So could the University of Arizona's football team, a defensive end. I mean, that's saying a lot, don't you think? I mean, Sarge, think about it. That's saying a lot.
Oh, I mean, to be that big, I mean, I'd like to see how agile he would be as far as going after a fly ball. But let me tell you, if you're hitting the ball and hitting it out of the ballpark, they'll find some place to be able to put you in a position.
One ball, two strikes the count. Off the end of the bat, Rivera, he bobbled it. Still got Polanco. He wanted to go to second to try to get Wigginton. 2 outs.
Pretty good play, too, though, just to make sure that he ended up getting the handle on that ball and be able to tag that base. And he barely gets there. You can see Bellingham coming into the pitcher there. Almost didn't able to see it. See, again, anytime that ball hit to the right side, and he did the right job in getting over toward first base.
Freddie Galvis grounded out his first time up. 0 for 1. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
It's one of those pitches a little more heavier than, say, a Tom Seaver, but really strong legs. He throws kind of with his leg, pushing off. But this guy here, he should have, you would think, more wins. I mean, he's doing okay first 2 years. Boy. No, you thought the guy was going to be close to a 20-game winner. In the last 3 years, a little more mediocre. 12-11, 11-11, and last year 11-11. ERA in the 4s. With this guy's arm and the way that he pitches, I think he should be able to win more ball games.
1 ball, 1 strike the count to Galvis. 2-1.
guy's not afraid to pitch inside. The Dodgers' reputation, though, for years, being able to throw the ball inside, moving hitters off the plate.
On the scoreboard down at Miami, it's now 3-0. Braves on top. Dan Uggla hit a home run to give the Braves the 1-0 lead. Now he has a double to boot. He's the leading vote getter at second base in the National League All-Star voting.
I hit that ball almost straight away center field. I mean, he hit it a long way. Got that on my iPad there.
I was wondering where you were looking at it. Out to left field. Castellanos is there. Yeah, the catch is made. In fact, Murph and I were watching your iPad last night when you were at home because you left it here at the ballpark and you left it on.
Thanks for calling me.
We go to the 5th inning. Phillies still hanging on to that 1-run lead. Players of the month. We just spoke about Jesse Biddle. He is tearing it up on the mound down in Clearwater. 6 starts. He was 2-0. He had 32 strikeouts in 33 innings. And Cody Ash, who the Phillies selected out of the University of Nebraska a year ago, 363 during the month with 15 runs batted in and 15 runs scored. That's production.
Oh, boy, that's getting the job done there. Driving them in and scoring.
Jerry Hairston leads it off here in the 5th. He singled his first time up against Cliff Lee, who's retired 8 straight. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Lee's in the wind. Here's the pitch. That was a good pitch. You know, that Hairston was opening up, and that one was toward the outer part of the plate. It was a changeup.
Yeah, good call on that. Lee usually tries to get that cut or throw a cutter in, and Hairston anticipating that. Been keeping the ball out of the air, obviously, hitting 368. It's one of those small guys. When he hits one home run, he thinks he's going to be able to hit maybe 15 or 20 for the year.
Polanco charges, not an easy play, but it makes it look easy for the first out. Seniors 55 and over relive history. A unique Phillies alumni luncheon in the Diamond Club Thursday, August 9th from 11:30 till 2:30 here at the ballpark. Listen as Bill Giles, Tim McCarver, Kent TeCulvey, Bobby Wine, and more share their Phillies stories. The event includes photos with both World Series trophies. Order now. Your tickets now by calling 215-463-1000. Go to Phillies.com/alumni for more information. Sarge, you going to be there? Well, you are an alum.
Yeah.
You are
I
55
think,
or over.
Yeah, I just there's sometimes though you got to let some of the other guys coming back in. To Colby for sure. Looking forward to seeing and talking with them.
Spread it around a little bit.
Yeah. And let's face it, though, the Phillies do a great job in bringing back the alumni, and I think it does make it so special for a lot of the fans to be able to be around other alums that they just don't see daily. Look at those shirts. That's old school.
Well, not only do they do a great job with keeping the alumni around, but Larry Shank, who used to be the Phillies director of media relations for a long time, vice president, now has an alumni newsletter which is out, which you can check out at Phillies.com. He also has a blog on Phillies.com that sometimes updates you on what's going on around the alumni. As Trainer goes down looking, 6 strikeouts for Lee. He's dealing right now.
Oh, yeah, he is too, though. Look at the movement. You know, and he's a guy, and you can bet he's going to feel he probably has to be perfect just because of the way that things are going on. Ryan Dempster pitching for the Cubs tonight. I'm sure he feels the same way. Doesn't have a victory.
Strike to Tony Gwynn Jr. 0-1. Jay Victorino, who's shading over toward left center, was in that general area on the last at bat for Gwynn to make the catch. This one's through the hole on the right side. Only the second hit for the Dodgers. Tomorrow night at 5, Michael Barkett and Phillies top sports writers discuss the Phils' injuries and the Eagles' return to Philly for organized team activities. Watch the best talk of Philly sports on Daily News Live. Tomorrow at 5, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Speaking of Phillies injuries and Michael Barkett, there he is. Mike's getting ready for Phillies postgame live. He's getting some notes going. He and Chris Coast will be providing all the action. There's Ricky Vitalico in the background looking at his phone.
Always.
Leslie Goodell is there too. Ricky Bowe is circle Ricky there, Sarge, so everybody sees where he is.
Ricky is right there.
Yep.
Oh, somebody got in the way, but that ball spot there you see there, Ricky's just had a nice Coke or something there, didn't he?
0-2 to count to Billingsley. Anyway, Michael is with Chris Coast tonight. It's nice to see Chris.
Yeah, I
back on
did.
TV.
I saw him earlier. Well, he's one of my favorite guys, and you don't always have to really like a player because he has the best talent. I mean, he just gave you such a great effort daily and did whatever he could to win the ball game. Got some big hits for the Phillies the time that he was here.
Sure did. No balls, 2 strikes to Billingsley. Runner at first, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got it with a changeup. 7 strikeouts for Lee. 61 now on the year. And he's cruising through the first 5. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We've played 4.5. Phillies looking for some runs when we get back. 3-game series against the Colorado Rockies here at the ballpark. You can get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. That first night is also Irish Heritage Night. Again, Phillies.com has all you want to know about not only the draft this year, but everything going on here at the Yard, including that series against the Rockies. Home half of the 5th. Cliff Lee, Jimmy Rollins, Juan Pierre. Lee grounded out his first time out. He's probably going to say he just missed that. A little out in front. Tony Gwynn Jr. is under it.
Yeah, threw him a little cutter and he was out in front just a little bit. Ball a little further in. It would had good wood on the ball.
Rollins is 1 for 2. He doubled and scored in the first. Grounded out to second in the third. They're in on the corners just a little bit. More at third than first.
Now, when he doesn't swing at the balls that are thrown down and in, he becomes such a better hitter. But that has to do with your mental concentration to be able to swing at strikes. And that's okay. That's borderline. That's borderline in. Could have been called a ball that's low, but if you swing at that and you hit it, usually you're just going to roll over on a ground ball. See if he comes back with something similar.
2-1 pitch.
That's the slider. And you can see how they pitch it, J-Ro. They try and throw him in and in. You know, if they're successful, they stay that way.
You know, he waited for a curve, waited back at a curve, and hooked it right through the hole.
Yeah, and that should teach him something right there. The difference is, and we were taught early on, the high breaking ball you want to swing at, and it's the low fastball. You swing at the low breaking ball, it's going to have a little more break. That ball's just up in the zone. Look at this. He does nothing but hit it kind of where it is. He did pull that ball in the hole, but he had a much better swing and a much better look at the ball that was up, the breaking ball. Good hitting. I'll see if he can steal a base. Get to second.
Safe and secure.
Yeah, New York Life. Yeah, I like seeing that. I like that. Need more doubles during my innings here.
Pierre's 0 for 2. Slide to center or line to center. Grounded to second. And he takes strike 1.
That's Pierre today. Why does he get to the ballpark so early? I mean, he was out here when the Dodgers were having batting practice, and he says he goes over a lot of different things to get himself prepared for the game. Looking at tapes, loosening up the legs. Only other player that actually probably beat him here consistently would have been Roy Halladay. But position players, very difficult to beat Juan Pierre to the ballpark.
And it's always been that way.
Well, he was that way when, you know, he's with the Cubs. There were times that he would get there before in spring training, before it was even light.
Great story years ago about he and Sean Figgins, who were good friends, how they both worked out together and they both have the same theories, or had the same theories, on how to prepare for a game. The story where I think it was Figgins came to Pierre's house in Florida. He arrived at like 10 p.m. and they decided to go over to the cage to hit. They were out there for a couple hours.
He needs to give Figgins a call because he's having a rough time.
You are right about that. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball, 2-2. 75 for Billingsley.
And you consider him more of a power type of a pitcher, meaning that he throws a lot of fastballs, a lot of sliders, as opposed to a pitcher that would trying to get you out with more like ground balls. Say, for instance, Blanton would be that type of a pitcher for me. Kyle Kendrick, ground ball pitcher, even though every now and then they'll have or surprise you with a lot of strikeouts during the game.
There he goes. Pitch is fouled away. Rollins got a good jump, too. An update from the Nationals and Mets game down in D.C. It's 3-2 Washington. Zimmerman 2 for 2 with a double and a run scored. They have to look at the scoreboard and check and see if that's Jordan Zimmerman or Ryan Zimmerman, because Jordan is pitching tonight. And I believe he's the one with the 2 N's at the end of his name. So I not only think he's pitching well, but he's also hitting well tonight.
Wow.
Little tapper back to the box. Billingsley fires to second for 1. That's all they'll get.
Saw J-Ro just before he was throwing. He thought he had actually read him right to be able to run. Would have been a good time to do it because he would have been at second base. Well, right in the first inning, after a double by J-Ro, here's a single, clutch single there. Pinch driving in a run. Got to make him feel good. But that's what happens, though, when J-Ro can start it at the beginning of that inning with nobody out, hitting a double. You got good things that can happen.
Throw over to first, and Pierre is back. Jimmy, who has 2 hits today, had that base stolen when Juan fouled it away, but Juan obviously was up there to protect too. There's not much we could do about it. Pierre may take a page out of Jimmy's book right now and take off to second and try to get into scoring position for Pence.
Yeah, a little bit easier to do it. As you can see there, Charlie demonstrating hitting, and he's talking about being able to drive and hit that ball hard. But with Juan, you want him to try and maybe run earlier in the count. Therefore, the hitter doesn't have to try and protect.
There he goes. That's early in the count. The throw by Trainer into the base path. Boy, that was heading to right center field. But it hit Pierre. If it hadn't hit Pierre, he may have been on third.
Yeah. Now you like that. He got a good jump. You know, and he knows this squad, the pitchers. Take a look at the throw. As the throw kind of tails away a little. That's why you still want that helmet on. Take a look at it right there as it comes in, and it does hit him. If it doesn't, then he's ended up right there at third base, hit him right near that rib cage area.
So now a base hit could give the Phils an extra run. It's 1-0 here in the 5th. To center field. A spinner that slices just a little bit. And Gwynn makes the catch. So the Phils leave one in scoring position. No runs. 1 hit, 1 man left. We've completed 5 on a pretty good night here in Philadelphia. also good if you need him in a pinch. Carlos has delivered at the plate for the Phillies in so many ways this season. The best hitting catcher in the National League added to his 2012 resume even when he wasn't in the starting lineup. You can try and run him over, but nothing should keep Chooch from his first All-Star appearance. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way.
Well, the Fanatics put on a pretty good show here tonight. One of the security guards for the Phillies, well, he was part of the act, and he bit, joined in fully.
Yeah, and whether or not he wants to participate or not.
D. Gordon starts off the sixth that takes the strike. Cliff Lee has been very good tonight.
When players take pitches that are just like that right down the middle, I'm just often wondering what is possibly going through their heads. That's the same thing. Young Gordon thinking maybe that is a ball, but you end up starting to guess early on, and again, he gets 2 fastballs. And he lets him go. That's the easiest pitch to hit.
One ball, 2 strikes the count to Gordon.
I sometimes think it's an epidemic, Sarge, not only in the majors, but also in the college game, in the high school game, letting those fastballs go by.
Well, you're doing it for a reason, and that is to set up a pitch that you're trying to hit. You certainly can't do it twice in a row.
Breaking ball and a call, strike 3. Well, he's working in rhythm right now with Jim Wolf and his strike zone. 8 Ks for Cliff Lee.
Well, it was a curveball. And again, when you have those early strikes or 2 strikes and the pitch is close, he's around the plate, you got to swing the bat. Got to be able to protect the plate. Good breaking ball.
Second time tonight, Gordon's been rung up. Herrera is 0 for 2. And it's 0-1 to him.
Oh, boy. Take advantage of it. That's where he's going to call it. That's where you want to throw it. Boy, Cliff just makes it look so easy when he's out there pitching. And he has everything together. Very confident in his ability. That's why that stat wins and loss does not tell the story, especially on a pitcher like this.
Well, I mentioned it's a race tonight to see if either Cliff or Dempster can get their first win. Dempster's up 3-0 right now in Milwaukee.
Yeah, well, they've lost 11 in a row on the road, so you bet they're trying to win one.
A little high with that curve. 1-2 the count to Herrera.
He's got him leaning on the last couple of pitches. He's got him set up for that cutter inside. Or fastball there inside.
That's held a little bit, the changeup. Herrera, 27 years old, in his first year in the big leagues. He was tearing up the minor leagues. The pitch from Lee. Got him. Well, out of the strike zone, and he went fishing for a changeup.
Yeah, Bever actually threw him a strike after that. You're right. Went fishing for a changeup. The ball out of the zone. Good pitch, however. Take a look at it. Appeared to be a strike.
Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity.
Your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long. 2 outs now for Rivera. He's grounded out, he's flied out, and he's trying to make Cliff Lee wait a little bit.
Puts one right on his knuckles. It's another thing hitters will try and do to break up the rhythm of the pitcher, and that is to step out, to take pitches. Talked about Cliff Lee before. I mean, he throws so many strikes, always usually around the plate. Charlie looking on, hoping to get a few more runs.
That was a heck of a cutter right there. It's 0-2. We mentioned that his outings last year against the Dodgers were brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's carrying over. The 0-2 to Rivera.
He's got a good fastball tonight. He's been head of the hitters. Rivera, too, is one of those hitters that you can get him out by throwing a ball out of the zone, close to it.
A curveball swung on and missed. It's strikeout number 10. Ruiz has time. Off balance throw, and the side is retired. He just struck out the side here in the 6th inning. He went with everything. Cutter, changeup, fastball, and that time the curveball. The first guy was D. Gordon. That was a breaking pitch. Then he went out of the strike zone with a changeup, and then back in the strike zone with a curveball. Cliff Lee is double digits tonight. By Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. By AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Center City all lit up on a crisp night here in Philadelphia. Carlos Ruiz will start it off. It'll be Ruiz, Victorino, and Wigginton. And the first pitch breaking ball over for strike one. Carlos is 0 for 2. Popped to second, grounded to short. It's a little out in front.
Yeah, he has pretty good swing. It's just about on everything from off-speed pitches to fastballs that would be away. Don't have an average like 363 and not spreading the ball around the ballpark.
when you are at this level for the first time in your career and you get into a little bit of a funk, is it easier to get out of it? Do you have more of an understanding?
Yeah, well, if you're not pressing too, though.
5-3 on the putout.
Well, and that takes over, 2 or 3 games. He's been hitting for me since spring training. Hard to be able to keep it up, but for the most part, Carlos he's been swinging at strikes.
Victorino walked in the first, grounded out to first his last time up, 0 for 1. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Start getting him on and getting his running game together. It will start to make things easy for you. Good pitch. And the veteran guys that are on the team, those are the guys that you want to pick it up. Kind of lead the way. And if they do that consistently, for me, with the pitching staff, they're battling right there all the way for another division title and more.
Got his foot down and he slapped it right through the middle.
Here's his key. When you talk to him about it, he realizes that. And a lot of times, sometimes you're not able to do it. You're trying to do it. Believe me, nobody's going up there trying to fail, trying to strike out. But like we've talked about before, this is altogether a different level. You can actually go in the stands and get fans that'll try. You got to be able to do your job up here more consistent. And before it's all said and done, I'm sure they will.
Well, the next step for the Phillies to get back some of the big boys will occur tomorrow when Chase Utley and Ryan Howard both play in an extended spring game. Chase played yesterday, hit a home run, had a double and a single, took today off, and now we'll be back at it tomorrow. Phillies also expect that Jim Thome will be back for this weekend series against the Orioles. He might be back sooner.
Yeah.
Which means Thursday, the day game for the Dodgers, or maybe even tomorrow.
Well, that would be great. And Jim is the type of player, he said it before, doesn't want to embarrass himself or the organization. And this is going to be a big test for him. And coming back, seeing that he can remain healthy, and not only that, that he has some production, that he has something left, catching up with fastballs, and it's not necessarily getting hits, but it's having good at bats, night in and night out.
Jim Salisbury from CSNPhilly.com will be down in Clearwater tomorrow, and he'll have a full report on what's going on. Wigginton pops it up, right side, Jerry Hairston. And Polanco will be the hitter. Other injury news, too, just to update something that the Phillies had expected. Dr. David Alchek, the Mets team physician, who was the second opinion for Roy Halladay, has confirmed the same diagnosis as Dr. Michael Cicotti, the Phillies team doctor. So it is a grade 1 strain. Roy apparently was symptom-free today.
Wow.
That's a good thing.
That's a great thing. Yeah, and there's no secret, too. Guys that are in better shape, easier for them to come back from injuries.
Here's Polanco, and he takes a hook for a strike. I know that, Murph, you talked to Ruben today about Doc's situation. Earlier they weren't sure. Then I guess they received the news as the day moved on.
Yeah, they had just been waiting for that second opinion to really, as you said, Tom, to confirm what they believed they already knew, and it did indeed. And the best part about what Ruben said is that Doc was indeed symptom-free today, and he actually said feeling pretty good and actually started to do some of his rehab work. He was doing some shoulder strengthening exercises and that kind of thing, and feeling pretty good about it. So as of right now, still on pace to that original 3 weeks without throwing, and then hopefully at that point he'll be able to throw a little bit on the side, and then 6 to 8 weeks and come on back.
Placido Polanco thrown out to finish up the third. Thanks, Murph. We appreciate that, which is all good news. Good news tonight is that Cliff Lee is dealing. Bad news, the Phillies have managed just to run against Billingsley. We go to the 7th here at Philly.
Big night for Jack Shore right there. A good friend, everybody around this ballpark, turning 80 today. Congratulations. And a good ball game is Cliff Lee. Well, they got him a lot of runs tonight. He's leaving this one 1-0. See the only hits by Harrison and Gwynn. Chad Billingsley, he really settled down after the first inning. Too, the Phillies really haven't had that many shots at him, Tom.
Yeah, they've had base runners, but those base runners have been basically locked at first base. Andre Ethier leads it off here in the 7th. Ethier is 0 for 1. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, we mentioned it before, the injury updates for the Phillies, that Chase Utley and Ryan Howard will both play in an extended spring game tomorrow. Chase will hit and run. Ryan will just hit. He will not run. Just to make that clear, but it is another step for him to be able to get some ABs.
Yep.
Here's the 1-1 to Ethier. A strike at the knees. It's 1-2.
Everything is positive right now on those two guys, and that's just the way you want to keep it. Every announcement you make, it's positive.
Two and 2 the count to Ethier. Cliff Lee with 12 double-digit strikeout games in 53 starts now with the Phillies. 2-2. Grounder foul.
Yeah, and he seems to do that with regularity against the Dodgers.
He hasn't done it with regularity overall this year. He hasn't gotten into that rhythm. Well, I don't know if he'll ever get into the rhythm he was in last year in those months, those 2 different months.
Well, he had the second inning, he was out of whack a little bit, and it started with Ethier. And since then, he's been throwing the ball really well.
And he got Ethier. 11 strikeouts. Ruiz hangs on. 5 strikeouts in a row for Lee.
And when you see these pitches he's making, like you just said, low, and then that one right there, outside where he swings and misses. Look where Carlos Ruiz sets up, and look how he almost hits his glove. And when Cliff Lee's going that way, he does that. He has an uncanny ability to throw the baseball where he wants to.
17 double-digit strikeout games since the 2010 season began. Castellanos fouls it away. It's 0-1.
Hey, you talk about guys reinventing themselves sometimes, you know. Like we watched Zambrano the other day. But this guy, it isn't like he reinvented himself. He just turned into a strikeout pitcher.
To right field. Playable for Hunter Pence. Wasn't as deep as he initially thought. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com.
Wow. Look at that ratio.
Also 18 first pitch strikes against 23 hitters. This is the 24th.
What was Ethier? A 10 pitch at bat?
That's a good point. Yeah, it was 10 pitches.
So that, you know, when you look at that, you take that away.
Not this inning.
No.
It was
first time up.
Back in the second inning when he walked.
Right. That's the inning we were talking about where he got out of sync a little bit. You take that away, and, you know, he's a very manageable 90. Right now he's at 100.
Due to bat second in the bottom of the 7th. It's 2-0. 2-1. See that cut at the end?
And down on the knees.
Right.
You know, that's the thing about him, how he's down with everything. You don't want to jinx him, though, because you're only in a one-run game. But he has tremendous location of his pitches tonight.
It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Harrison. Lee's got his signs. 12 strikeouts on the night for Cliff Lee. He struck out 2 of the 3 batters that he faced in this inning. He has 6 strikeouts against the last 7 hitters. And he is on fire on the mound. I mean, everything is around the strike zone, particularly with 2 strikes. Time to stretch here at Citizens Bank Park, and Cliff Lee working on a 2-hit shutout. Elvis will lead it off for the Phillies. And he bunts up the first base side. This is going to be a tough play. Billingsley makes a nice flip, and it's in time. Darrell Cousins thought that Billingsley still had the ball. Sam Perlaza is going to go over and have a word with Cousins.
What took you so long? Well, that's an unbelievable play if he's out.
I thought he may have beaten it.
Yeah, he makes a great. Only way you're going to do anything here is if Billingsley makes a tremendous play. Oh, he even shifted it.
He got him. If his foot's on the bag, he got him. I think Herrera's foot's on the bag.
Yeah, the ball's there ahead of him. Yep, he's out. Good call.
Cliff Lee is the hitter. He fouls it away.
Boy, Billingsley really showed some ability on that play.
Out in front, 0-2. Not happy about it either.
He looking out at Billingsley like, what are they throwing me that for? That's the one left-hander they have in their bullpen available tonight.
Swing and a miss. Leo run it out. 2 outs here in the 7th. Back to the top of the order for Rollins. Time now for our Dodge Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, Wills, here you go. Name the last Dodger player to win the National League Rookie of the Year.
Well, I'm going to go back to where we were before, talking about all those guys that won in a row in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I want to stay with the guy that I just happened to throw out there at the end, because I think he was the last one, and if I'm wrong, Todd Hollinsworth.
Todd Hollinsworth, Wheels, is correct.
Boy, they won. How many did they win? They won. I bet they've won 10, 15, 10, 12, 20. Not 20. How about 12 Rookie of the Year?
Well,
I'm going to look it up.
We'll look it up.
Okay.
Jimmy Rollins is the hitter.
We didn't talk about Mike Piazza. He's got to be in that group, right? Sachs win Rookie of the Year?
Steve Sachs, I believe, did win Rookie of the Year. Rollins chops it foul.
You mentioned Fernando. How about Noma?
Hold on, I'm counting.
Right.
They won 4 in a row at one point.
Yeah, that was the ones we were talking about.
Including Sachs.
Right.
5 in a row at one point. Including Nomo. So 16 in all. Rollins down looking. Wow. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies. Couple strikeouts for Billingsley. 7 in the books. Time for Cliff Lee to go back to work. Event. For a limited time, get bonus cash on Altima and Rogue. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer today. Buy WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And buy Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF now for an appointment. Cliff Lee ready to go here in the top of the 8th inning. Rain is falling ever so slightly. We'll face Matt Trainer, Tony Gwynn Jr., and the pitcher's spot. Lindblom is warming again in the pen.
6 right-handers and that left-hander Scott Elbert. That's their bullpen.
Trainer has struck out twice. Lee has struck out 12. And he throws a cutter down low. 1 ball and no strikes. There's Lindblom. He's been pretty good for them too. A liner to left field into the alleyway. Pierre is not going to get there. It's going to go to the wall. And Trainer's going to pull into second with a leadoff double. Well, he had struck him out twice before, and he picks up only the 3rd hit of the night against Cliff.
That's how good he has been tonight. 12 strikeouts, as Tom just said, and look at the way he's kept the ball out of the middle of the plate. He's been able to throw the pitches almost where he's wanted to with everything. Fastball, cutter, changeup, and curveball for 12 strikeouts. But once again, unfortunately, Phillies don't score for him. They have 1 run in the ball game. So it's a leadoff double here in the 8th inning. You're looking at the tying run at second base with nobody out.
Yeah, and I would think Tony Gwynn is going to bunt here. What do you think? With Abreu on deck?
I think there's a heck of a chance of that, especially since, as you say, Abreu's on deck and they're going to hit for the pitcher. And nobody is up in the Phillies bullpen, so this is all on Lee.
There's Bobby Abreu. Jonathan Papelbon's starting to loosen up with his legs a little bit. Gwynn bunts it foul in the air.
Now, one thing you have to remember is that they have a catcher at second base running. So, and Lee is an outstanding fielder. And what they would really like to do is Gwynn to bunt the ball somewhere hard where Lee can get to it in a hurry and Polanco reads it, retreats to third base. If in fact Trainer does go. If not, throw him out of first. See, just a regular bunt defense.
That pitch was awfully close. 1-1.
And you saw how quickly Polanco started to retreat there. There's Tim, nicknamed Eli Wallach. Heck of a career in the National League.
Oh, button again. He bunts it toward third. They've got a play. Off balance throw. And does he have the ball? Yes, he does.
That's it. That's what they hoped would happen. And boy, they bunt with 2 strikes. Cliff Lee is just so athletic coming off that mound. Polanco read it perfectly and retreats. Boy, that's the way you draw it up. That's where they practice it during spring training. And it worked. He got spiked a little bit, it looks like.
Again, he did the other night, too.
Here it is. That's a pretty good bump. But look at this job by Lee. Throwing on the run. Throw is down, and he slides right into the hand, right into the glove.
He really did get spiked good. He's going to get looked at now by Scott Sheridan. His finger, his index finger, like a lot of players, is out of the glove, and that's where the spike eventually went, right there, and then up the arm.
Yeah, a very clean play. You know, he's just going in there as hard as he can, his trainer. Puts a glove down, and well, we'll see what happens here. But what a play. But look at Lee throw this thing on the run, and the throw is perfect so that Polly can put it down right in front of the bag.
See, right there goes up the arm. And it already had the index finger, which I think was banged a little bit the other day on a similar play.
That's why you go in spikes first instead of head first, too. I know guys want to slide head first all the time, but You know, players do not. You know, what Polly wanted to do there was get that hand out of there as quickly as he could, but he couldn't.
See, Wheels, that's what you need. You need a little packet to carry around Band-Aids, just for the guys in the office.
Take them around on the golf course. You know, tape your hands up when you get blisters. I got some in my bag if you ever need them.
Band-Aids?
Yeah, always
you
ready.
Have a little case like that?
Don't have that.
It comes in handy. Well, it is the index finger that was cut by the spike. Scott Sheridan, the Phillies head athletic trainer, came out to take care of it.
What a good job they did there on communicating on that, and then using Lee's athleticism and Polanco keeping the glove down there, and he just took a tough shot. That's big league play right there.
So Bobby Abreu's the hitter, a runner at first, 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Abreu's pitch hitting for Billingsley. And he takes strike 1.
Wynn stolen 8 out of 11 bases. So he's a guy you can't forget about over there.
Yeah, they may try to get somebody in scoring position again quickly.
Right. Now they want Abreu to pull the ball in the hole. That's what he tried to do there. You know, Bobby's stroke, for the most part now, is opposite field, left and left center. But he really did try to pull that ball. Now he's on his own 0-2.
Through the right side, he did get it through the hole. Gwynn is thinking about third. He's on his way. The throw by Pence is in time. How about that? What a throw by Hunter Pence. Right on the nose. 2 outs here at the top of the 8th.
Well, it's some good baseball we're seeing right now. Look at Abreu. You know, he knows he did his job with 2 strikes. Gwynn's a good runner, and Hunter Pence guns him down. And Polanco, he puts that tag down there. Here we go. Now this is the difference in a guy coming in head first or feet first. You're a lot safer as a fielder. And see Lee backing the play up, and he loved it. That's why you know, if you're an infielder, you love that guy coming in head first and not with those spikes at you.
A standing ovation for Hunter Pence. I mean, that was an unbelievable throw.
He can be very accurate, and he sure was there.
6 outfield assists on the year for Pence.
How exciting is this half inning?
Well, yeah, sitting in the dugout today before the ball game, Charlie was discussing fundamentals, and he said, listen, we have not been a fundamentally sound team this year. He said, we're nowhere near the same defensive team we were. Well, tonight, at least in this inning, they're the old Phillies.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know whether Abreu could be at second base or not, but some guys would be on that play. You know, as long as that took to unfold by that long throw and then the tag, you have to do all that. Then it's tough to get the guy going into second if you keep going.
Another base hit to the right side. Abreu's not going to challenge the arm. First and second with 2 outs.
Lee was just unhittable, basically going into this inning, and now all of a sudden they're singling him to death.
Well, his pitch count is not unraveling just yet. So with Herrera up, Charlie Manuel, yeah, Rich Doobie's going to come out. I was going to say he's going to give him a chance to get him.
Yeah.
Now they may even get a left-hander up for Ethier. Now it looks like Qualls is the only one that's going to throw.
The double to lead off this inning, then the 2 singles. But good plays at third base have wiped out 2 Dodgers.
You have Rivera on deck. He's a right-handed hitter, so you could bring Qualls in to face him if you think that Lee is done. I don't know if he's done, though. You know, he doesn't think he's done.
No, he doesn't, right, but he's getting close with 115 pitches. And, you know, that could be one of the reasons why he's starting to throw some pitches in the middle of the plate, too.
Tonight on Sports Night, complete highlights of this ball game, plus post-game reactions and analysis of the Phils and Dodgers, plus reports on the Eagles OTAs. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night, presented by Toyota, tonight at 10 on Comcast Sportsnet. Herrera is 0 for 3, and he takes low. 1 ball and no strikes.
He threw 3 straight changeups to him last time with 2-2, 3-2, and then struck him out on the 3-2. Chewing on that gum right now is all you can do.
It's a wicked cutter from Lee.
Yeah, this guy hacks too, especially right-handed. We saw him more, a lot left-handed last night, but right-handed. This looks like his natural side because he really gets after it.
Curveball swung on and missed, 1-2.
That's what I mean about off-speed stuff to him. That's why they're throwing so many changeups, in that case a curveball, because he really rips right-handed. Look how out front he goes. I don't know whether they want to go fastball. Well, we'll see.
They could go fastball away or changeup away, which is what they went the last time to get the 9th strikeout.
Or something slow.
Everybody on their feet. 43,000 plus the pitch. Just missed a little low. 94.
That's called adrenaline.
The 2-2.
I don't know. I don't really want to throw fastballs to him,
120 pitches. His career high is 126, which he did last year against the Cardinals.
He's on this one.
It's that kind of night. Haven't had many of these.
Thinking slow, but don't hang something.
He went slow and he fouled it off. He got it with a changeup the last time, and it looked like Herrera was diving.
3 straight changeups last time to get him. Boy, what a half inning this is.
Lee has his signs. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball in the air. Left field. Pierre on the run to the warning track, to the wall. And it's off the wall, and the Dodgers are going to take the lead. It'll be a 2-run double for Herrera here at the top of the 8th inning. Wow. And here comes Charlie Manuel.
They gave him one more hitter. And he threw something up that time. That's what I was afraid of. He might hang something because he's tired at this point. Like a curveball. They want to go slow on him there and see if you could get him to jump at something. And
oh boy.
One run they get him, and in this inning you just can't stop it, and they take the lead.
So Lee is done. Qualls is coming in. The Phillies are down by 1 here in the top of the 8th inning. It's an AT&T call to the bullpen here at Citizens Bank Park. pitch for Cliff Lee's night. A 2-run double by Herrera. And the Dodgers up by 1. 7 2/3, 6 hits, 12 strikeouts. But the Phillies offense got him just 1 run tonight. So now Chad Qualls.
That's the thing about it. Once again, absolutely no margin for error. And he obviously was tiring in that inning. But it was still his inning. It was still his game. And I couldn't quite get that third out, even though they're throwing guys out all over the place on the bases.
2 outstanding defensive plays certainly helped the Phillies' cause in this inning. Juan Rivera, the batter, takes a slider for a strike. It's 0-1.
Hard to tell with Pierre on that. It looked like he got to the wall in time or just a little bit late. And when he jumped, couldn't get the ball.
I know folks will probably wonder if, let's say, if John Mayberry was out there, if he would have made the catch. But, you know, hindsight's 20/20. The 0-1 to Rivera. There probably would have been a defensive change in the 9th inning.
Well, you're still in a 1-run game, and he's due to lead off in the 8th inning, and that's why he's still in the game.
That's it. I mean, he's been a productive offensive player.
When it's 1-0.
1-1 the count to Rivera. Broke his bat. Slowly to short. Time for J-Roy. So the Dodgers take the lead on a 2-run double by Herrera. They leave one in scoring position. Cliff Lee right now on the losing side of this ball game, but the offense has 2 more chances to erase the deficit. Philadelphia chapter. The night features 2012 player and coaches autograph and photo booths, grab bags and games, silent and live auctions all around the ballpark. The alumni photo booth featuring Mike Schmidt and Greg Luzinski together. Tickets go on sale Monday, the 11th of June. That's this Monday at 9 a.m. Call 215-463-1000. James Loney will take over at first base for the Dodgers. Not as much an everyday player anymore, but certainly a defensive replacement. Josh Lindblom will be the new pitcher. This is his 26th game, and he's been good for Los Angeles. Juan Pierre leads it off. It'll be Pierre, Pence, and Ruiz. Bills down by 1. Cliff Lee can't win the game tonight.
Well, 16 innings in this series so far. The Phillies have scored in 2 of them.
The 1-0 pitch inside 2-0. Not only that, you think about Lee's starts. They've scored just 16 runs when he's in the game.
Really. When he was obviously, I don't think he'll say it, but he started to throw balls in the middle of the plate. He was getting a little bit out of gas in that inning with all those pitches. All, you know, in a pressure situation where you're in a 1-0 game. And to their credit, they got him. Still think he threw the right pitch to Herrera. He just hung it.
2-1 the count to Pierre. And he hits it to center field. Wynn will take care of it. And 1 out. So with 1 away, here's Hunter Pence. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Chad Billingsley, who went 7 innings on the night. 6 hits, 1 run. He could be the winner if the Dodgers hang on. Oh, and 1 the count to Pence. Excuse me. Herrera, the third baseman, is way over toward the line.
Yeah, they're taking a double away, potential double away if they can.
0-2.
Pretty good hard slider. Fastball in the mid-90s.
Left side of the Dodger infield thought that was strike 3. I think Davey Lopes and Don Mattingly and a lot of other folks thought this was strike 3.
Well, they know it isn't high and it isn't low. Well, that's a strike.
Now the 1-2 pitch to Pence. Way outside, 2-2. Top of the 8th inning was such a kick in the gut.
It was such an exciting inning, and then the air went out of the balloon with that double.
To center field, off the end of the bat for Pence, and 2 outs now in the 8th. Now they just have to try to bear down a little bit. They just need to get 1 run.
And it's been a problem. He's trying to come from behind to win.
Carlos is 0 for 3. The last time Lee trailed against the Mets, it was Carlos who bailed him out with a pinch hit 2-run home run. He's grounded out twice tonight, and he's popped out to Hairston. And he takes low.
Just going fastball slider so far.
Carlos hits it to left center field. There's a lot of speed out there, and Gwynn tracks it down. He covered an awful lot of ground and was able to pull that one out of the air, so he retired all 3 Phillies here in the bottom of the 8th inning. This was the hardest of the 3 for Tony Gwynn as he cut in front of his teammate who was flying to the ground. We go to the 9th. Starts Monday, June 25th. 3 night games and a day game. The fireworks shows brought to you by Xfinity on Monday and Tuesday. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. The fireworks shows here at the ballpark are always outstanding. We have 2 opportunities. Well, got to get up off the mat. Top of the 9th inning. Ball stays in. Phillies down 2-1. The Braves are shutting out the Marlins 7-0. The Nationals are on top of the Mets 3-2. And here are the Phillies, who led it 1-0 until the 8th, trail at 2-1. Andre Ethier leads it off, and he hits the first pitch on 1 hop. What a play by Galvis. We've been saying that so many times this year, but he just made it look so easy on a play that might cause some trouble for a lot of second basemen.
Most second basemen, the way that ball was hit that hard, and the left-handed hitter, he hooked it. So that means it's going away from him the whole time. So he's got to go full extension. Well, he gets his glove on the ball. It almost always stays in it, or at least right nearby.
First pitch is over for a strike. Lee retired him all 3 times tonight. Check swing, easier play for Galvis. Castellanos could run, as you just saw. 2 outs here in the 9th. Well, Jansen is warming up. He's their closer now. He closed out last night's game.
Yeah, he came in with some bullets last night.
Place was alive. It was electric. There was energy, and now it is quiet.
It was feeling like the old days in the top of the 8th inning. That was as much fun as we had all year and a half inning, I think. Give the Dodgers credit. There's a reason they have the best record. What is it now, in the major leagues? Definitely in the National League, maybe in the major leagues.
Well, with their win last night, it depended on, it's best record in the majors.
Yeah, well, there's a reason, and they've been playing very good baseball, especially early, and they're doing a lot of what they're doing right now is they have plenty of new heroes. When you talk to the people around them, they say it's amazing how many people have stepped up and won games for them this year.
Last night it was D. Gordon that helped with the leadoff triple, and then he scored on the base hit by Herrera.
And that Herrera has been a very good player for them since they brought him up.
Well, he had the game-winning RBI last night. He's got the go-ahead RBI tonight. Last night it helped Clayton Kershaw. Tonight it's helped Chad Billingsley. To right field. That's pretty well hit. Playable, though, for Pence on the track, and the Phils have one last chance. Here we go. They have not had a come-from-behind game-winning inning in the bottom of the 9th this year. Maybe it's time. Dodgers up by 1.
Matchup immediately after the game. It's Phillies Post-Game Live, hosted by Michael Barkan and Chris Coast. It's presented by Kier Auto Insurance. And again, it'll take place right here after the ball game. Well, it's the same set of circumstances that we've talked about often. Phillies do not have a walk-off win in the 9th inning. They have one in extra innings, but they do not have one in the 9th inning. Kenley Jansen, who saved his 7th ball game last night, 4-0, a 2.03 earned run average. When trailing after 8, the Phillies are 0-23.
41 strikeouts, 26 and 2/3 innings. That's what you want out of your closer.
Guy was marvelous tonight.
Yep.
Until the 8th, when he gave up the go-ahead double, and even giving up the go-ahead double, it's only 2 runs, but the Phillies offense has managed just 1 run. Victorino, Wigginton, Polanco. Third baseman Herrera is in on the grass. Loney is back behind the first base bag, not thinking about a drag bunt. And the pitch. Victorino squared, takes it inside. It's 1-0. Phillies began play tonight 4 games out in the East. The Nationals are leading the Mets. The Braves are shutting out the Marlins. Marlins and Nationals were atop the division.
This guy threw a lot of cutters last night. That seemed to be the pitch that he really likes, because he throws it to right and left-handed hitters. And he throws it hard. Threw a backdoor one that time.
That was a good pitch.
Yeah, backdoor cutter, and it just, it just froze him.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Victorino needs to get on, trying to get on. Easy play for Herrera, as it turns out. And now the Phils down to their final 2 outs. The reason it's 2-1 is our W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
Yeah, it looked like he hung a curveball here too. Yeah, he did. There it was, up in the zone. You see Carlos Ruiz's reaction, and still can't tell. Was that over his glove?
It was just to the right of his glove.
I thought it was on the wall near his glove, but
still had to jump for it.
Yeah, he still had to jump, and he had just gotten to the wall. But you can see Ruiz's reaction, because they really liked that pitch to them, but they didn't want to hang it, and they did.
Wiggins in the batter, takes inside. Mike Fontenot, by the way, has come out to pinch hit for Polanco, so the index finger must hamper his swing, the one that was spiked in that 8th inning. Through the hole left side, the tying run is aboard. Let's see if they pinch run for Wiggins in here. They have Mayberry available. They also have Pete Orr, who's quick as lightning.
That was Pete McCann is pointing right now. They're going to get a runner out there for Wigginton. That was guarding the line at third. Big hole on the left side. And Wigginton was able to shoot one through, and Mayberry's going to run for him.
So Fontenot, he'll pinch hit for Polanco as Mayberry pinch runs for Wigginton. Phil's down by 1 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Fontenot takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Galvis is next, and then the pitcher spot. Here's Placido Polanco being pinch hit for here by Fontenot. I'm assuming it's because of the spike.
There's a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, Blanco would have hit here, and they just say Fontenot for further down.
And maybe the 9 spot. As at this point, they've got Luna and Orr they can use for the 9 hole.
Or even pinch run Fontenot the way they have before. It would have been, but they're definitely using him because of Polanco, like you say, because probably getting spiked.
There's Luna, batting gloves on, ready to go. I thought maybe they pinch run Orr for Wigginton, save Mayberry to hit for the pitcher spot, but I guess they're going to use Luna to do that. Or maybe Orr. Toyota Major League scoreboard. It's a 4-4 game. Mets have tied up the Nationals. Ryan Zimmerman has an RBI and a run scored. 1-2. Fontenot kind of tied up on that pitch.
Well, they're cheating for a double play up the middle. He's got a lot of room on the right side, and Ethier is really deep and right. You see the defense and how deep he is out there. So you have a heck of a chance of a first to third here on a single to right field.
Swing and a miss. 2 outs. So Fontenot is struck out on a high fastball.
Yeah, pitch way out of the zone. He just chases it.
That'll bring Freddie Galvis to the plate. 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded out twice. He's flied out to left. Pete Orr comes out to hit in the on-deck circle. Phillies are hoping they get to that spot. Keep the inning alive. Mayberry leads off first. And it's a strike at the knees to Galvis. Mattingly had to revamp the closer's role this year off last year. Guerra was good last year. He was good this year. Jansen, though, has had to take over for Guerra. And it doesn't look like he's phased at all by it.
Throws a lot of strikes.
1 ball, 1 strike the count. 2-1. There's Lance Nix next to Pence. He'll go out on a rehab assignment. It's 2-1 to Galvis. Mayberry on first. He's the tying run. Not a big lead. Freddie, towering fly ball, foul territory. Loney is over, and it's back about 5 or 6 rows. Phillies have lost 3 in a row. The last 2 to the Marlins. The first one here to the Dodgers. And now they're down 2-1 here in the 9th. Cliff Lee, 12 strikeouts, 7 2/3 tonight. They just couldn't get that final out, and the Dodgers scored their 2 runs in the 8th. The pitch to Galvis. Swing and a miss. He got him with some high cheese. 95, and the Phillies have lost 4 consecutive games And this one is a tough one to swallow. They had a 1-0 lead into the 8th inning when the Dodgers got a 2-run double by Herrera to erase the deficit. And Los Angeles, with the best record in the majors, has won it tonight by a final of 2-1. Chevy player of the game. Well, it's kind of a carbon copy of last night. The pitching for the Dodgers was outstanding, and Chad Billingsley certainly settled in.
Yeah, they had a shot at him in the first inning, got a run. Ethier made a nice play on a ball hit by Wigginton near the wall and would have scored a run. Here's a tremendous play by Billingsley there to get Galvis trying to bunt his way on, but he hung in there. Got Jimmy Rollins there, looked like a change up on a called third strike. Phillies scored in 1 inning tonight and 1 inning last night.
And for the 14th time this year, they've scored 1 run or less in a ball game. They waste an outstanding pitching performance by Cliff Lee. We'll be back to talk more about it right after this.